everyone, and welcome to episode 27 of the Little B podcast. My name's Kirsty, and I am the host. I have another host here who's wandering around all my project bags. There's technically another one sat behind me, and then there's Teddy. So I have three hosts along with myself today. So yeah, welcome to my podcast. It's a podcast mainly about knitting and crochet. There's the odd bit of sewing and dyeing and spinning and some bead weaving. Basically, I am particularly crafty, and that's what my podcast is going to reflect. So, welcome back to any returning viewers, and a huge hello to any new viewers. I hope I'm your cup of tea for the day. Talking of cup of tea, it's 11 o'clock in the morning, pretty much, on Sunday, the 25th of June, and this is my first cup of tea. You really can't beat a cup of tea in the morning. So yeah, we'll get the whole admin-y stuff out of the way first. So where you can find me, I am on Instagram as Little B Kirsty. I'm also on Instagram as Little B Accessories, which is mostly like what I'm working on. There's no like my own life kind of things on that one, whereas on the Little B Kirsty, that's more everything that's going on in my life. You can find me on Ravelry as Little-B. Yeah, Little-B. And yeah, I think that's it. So there's two disclaimers for the start of this podcast. The first one is there will be a couple of swear words. I will warn you in advance in case there's little ones watching and you can go like that really quickly, or send them out the room, or pause and then watch later on. Whichever one suits you best. The second disclaimer is there is a large event happening at the bottom of my street, and they do have a tannoy, and I did a wee test earlier and you couldn't hear the tannoy, but I cannot guarantee that at some point throughout this you will not hear the tannoy, if that makes sense. So if you do hear some background noise that isn't one of my cats, this little lump here that's moving, or like my door or my phone going off, it's most likely the tannoy from the event at the bottom of my street. I do apologise about that, but nothing I can do about it. They've shut off the entire street, we've had to get parking permits. It's generally just a big pain in my butt, because it's just totally threw my weekend off completely. I'm not wanting to move my car at all, and yeah, such is life. Cup of tea. So it's been a couple of weeks since I last podcasted. Let me just find out roughly when that was. 2 weeks. That's not bad, actually 3 weeks. And in those 3 weeks, swear word alert, it's been pretty shite. I'm not gonna lie, it's been horrific. In the last podcast, I did say that we had experienced a death within the family, and in the 3 weeks after that, we have experienced 2 more deaths. One was a friend, which the poor girl had been fighting cancer for the last 5 years and has sadly lost her fight. That it was sudden. We weren't expecting it. But she is no longer suffering, so that's good. And then the third one, which has really hit all of us particularly hard, was actually my gran. She passed away very, very suddenly on the 12th of June, and we said our goodbyes to her on Friday just past. So it's been an extremely difficult couple of weeks, extremely emotional couple of weeks as well. And yeah, so again, disclaimer, it's been a swearing disclaimer. It's been a really shite couple of weeks, and yeah, that's how we'll leave that one. So yeah, moving on, we'll actually get on to some knitting stuff. As far as I'm aware, I have no finished objects at all. I do have a lot of works in progress. But yeah, we'll get started. As you've seen in the intro, I have started another square for my blanket. It doesn't look like anything, but anyone that does these mitered squares know that eventually the drawing kind of goes like that and it works up to be a square. All my squares are made on DK, and they're not all the same yarn. Most of them are the Karisma by Drops, which is, I want to say, 100% pure wool. My bag's over there and I can't be bothered reaching over because normally I'll fall. So yeah, I'm knitting them on my Pony 4mm needles, which are not my needles of choice, but given how many other projects I have on the go at the moment, it's the ones I've just decided to go with. So yeah, at the moment I'm making this on a really, really lovely deep red. Colour won't come up fantastic on my webcam. But yeah, I'm working on a really, really lovely deep red, and I do mine on 64 stitches, and then half it to 32, so that's where my decrease line goes up. I'm not doing what everyone else does, which is attach them as you go, so that your blanket grows and grows and grows. I'm doing mine a bit differently. I make all my squares separately, cast off, and then I just stockpile them pretty much. I keep them in my bag and I don't sew them together just yet, because what I'm actually aiming to do is I want to incorporate knitting and crochet into the exact same blanket. So I'm probably going to do a whole bunch of squares joined together. So the first ones will be 4 squares and they'll be the centerpiece. And then I'm going to do a crochet border, and then I'm going to add more squares, but whether I do it as in like a square of squares or just like a row of squares, I have not decided yet. I don't have nearly enough squares to kind of lay it out and get an idea of what I want. So I'm literally just making the squares, putting them in a bag, and just, that's my go-to project if I don't want to work on a pattern or I don't have enough time to work on the pattern. So say I'm only out for about 20 minutes or I'm sitting in a waiting area. I don't really want to kind of sit down, try and figure out where I am in the pattern and then only get like half my stitches done to then get called or have to leave. So I would rather work on this, which you only have to get to the centre on one row and decrease, and then another row you're just knitting. So this is the perfect kind of chuck in your bag project, and it's slow going. It's definitely slow going, but hey ho, that's the way of these blanket projects. They're not fast. So Monty's moving around the bed. He doesn't normally come up on my bed, which is really weird. And then literally right behind me is Socks, who is cleaning himself, so it's maybe a good thing you can't see. So that's one project that's on the go at the moment. That's one that really does tend to be an on-off project. Like I had Socks going at the moment. That's totally redundant. I have Socks on the go at the moment, and the only reason they're not really my go-to is because I do need to do the heel now. So it was easier when it was just round and round and round and round. But because I now have to dig out the pattern for the heel, because I'm doing a fish lips kiss heel, I have stopped chucking them in my bag and have chucked my squares in the bag, which are being kept in this very, very bright, beautiful kind of festival bag. I got it out of one of those kind of like, it's Home Bargains, so I don't know if anyone else, people in England might have Home Bargains, I know other people in Scotland have them, but I don't think you get them in like the US or abroad. So yeah, it's been kept in this really nice festival bag, very, very colourful, very, very sparkly. So yeah, project 1, done and dusted. Project 2, as I was saying, are my socks. I'm relatively proud of these. They are, they're a bit of an experiment. I've yet to find my perfect sock fit and my perfect sock calculations. I don't know, I don't know what you want to call it. yeah, I really don't know what you want to call it. So I'm still trying to figure out the perfect fit. I used to do my socks on 2.5 on I want to say 32 stitches, and I realised that on, I have a pair here actually, so these were on 2.5s and there were 32 stitches, and they are very roomy. There's a lot of give, and basically I was mostly wearing them to bed because they were just so roomy and gapey and a lot of give. They were not good in shoes, they weren't really good in boots in particular. I also really was not a fan of the slip stitch heel, but again, I'm still trying to tweak my pattern, like my go-to sock count and stuff. So for these ones, I went down a needle size, so I'm working on 2.25s. I've gone up my stitch count, so I now do 64, no. Why am I saying I only do 32? That was in 62. Is that right? Oh my god, I can't remember. Hang on a second, I'm gonna count. Okay, I was wrong, it was 62, not 32. 32 would have been a very, very small foot, that would have been a child's foot. So yeah, 62 stitches for this one. I then went up to 64 stitches. And I also changed the toe. I now do a star toe. Yeah, it's got a hole in the toe, I've not sewn it up yet. So I now do my increases at certain points. And I prefer this fit because of just how my toes are. I prefer the feel of it. It's a lot more comfortable than the standard toe. I find that this doesn't fit my feet very well, like my toes. It feels very uncomfortable, especially like literally right in the corner. It just does not feel well at all. But I think if I remember, these ones were actually cuffed down, whereas I now always do toe up. So again, I'm just experimenting with how I like it. And for this one, I have done, as I say, star toe, toe up, 64 stitches instead of 62, which, believe it or not, just those 2 extra stitches was enough extra room that it wasn't tight on my foot, because I done another pair on 2.25 and I done the 62 stitches and it was just too tight. So I went up 2 stitches and it's perfect. I do 73 rows, believe it or not. I have very large feet and I'm a very tight knitter as well. So at the moment this is sitting at 73 stitches, 73 rows, and it's ready to go straight into the heel. And I am working with 2 balls of wool at the moment. So this is going to be my heels, toes and cuff, and this is the body of the foot. So this is West Yorkshire Spinners, and this is Mystery. I have no idea what this is, who it's done by. There is stellina in it. It's very, very soft, and it's just really beautiful. It's so bright. It's actually pretty luminous, and I love it. So originally I was doing 2 at a time, magic loop style, and then I realised magic loop really is not for me, and doing 1 sock at a time is really not for me. So I do them 2 at a time in tandem. I do mine on Knit Pro Zings, which is Knitter's Pride in America. I had a bit of an issue with these needles. If there is a remote kind of dent in them, the yarn catches really, really badly. And I bought 2 pairs of these needles from different vendors, and I don't know who I bought the damaged pair from, but it certainly made it very difficult and has taken away some of the enjoyment from knitting these socks, because I can feel the drag when it's going anywhere near the dents and the scratches on the needles. So I'm not really sure if I am able to return the needles to one of the places I bought them. and they send them back to Nitpicks, because I don't want to send them back to the shop and be like, you sold me damaged products, because they weren't to know. But at the same time, I don't want to sit with damaged needles that I can't, not that I can't use, I can use them, but it's very horrible to use. They're horrible, horrible things to use once they've been damaged like that. Because anyone else that works with the zings knows that they're very, I wouldn't say slippy, but they're very simple to use, and there is a bit of like a grip on the needle, but a bit of drag on the needle. I think that's what I meant. And I love using the zings, but I've just been really put off because 2 of the needles are damaged, and I need 4 and then a 5th one to do the knitting, and I kind of can't because of the damage, but I'm making do. So yeah, second project. This is going to be a long podcast. It's been a while though. So yeah, second out the way. My third project I'm really pleased with at the moment. This is the Briat shawl. I can't say it. I'll put the details down below, and I will possibly do show notes. I'm not sure yet. So this is the Briat shawl. This is the one I showed off in my last podcast that I bought at Queen of Pearl. And this is my progress so far. So it doesn't look like much, but I'm really, really happy with what I have. And the reason why I stopped was because I was working on this on holiday. I was away last week. And the next part calls for a cable needle. I didn't take a cable needle with me, and so I just thought, right, I could totally get away with not using a cable needle. I had mini crochet hooks, I had an extra crochet hook, I had numerous double pointed needles with me. I had no excuse not to do it. But I am not comfortable doing cables, so I didn't want to do it when I could work on another project, pretty much. So I didn't. Simple as that. My tea's getting cold. So yeah, I worked on the project as much as I could whilst I was on holiday, and then I used the excuse because I didn't have a cable needle I could not continue. But hey ho. I will also put in the comments the yarn I'm using, because let's face it, I was not... Is it over here? No, not over here. I wasn't the most prepared for this podcast, and I have misplaced the pattern. That, and because of my grand's funeral on Friday, we had family over, and it's just been a bit of a jumble, and yeah. The other project I've been working on is an ongoing project, just like my squares blanket. This is my crochet blanket. I was working on this whilst I was away. I was working on it the week before, and it's now pretty big. Like, am I showing you the side with all the... Yeah, I'm showing you the side with all the ends out. Let's show this side. So it is pretty big. I mean, it's not my wingspan or anything, but it's definitely bigger. I think last time I showed you guys it was here. So I have added 2 full repeats, and I'm on to a third. And this blanket's actually a present for somebody. It's going to be my my boyfriend's mum's birthday present in August. So I really need to pull the finger out and get it finished. But yeah, as you've seen, there are a lot of ends. I just snip them, cut them, tie them, and then leave them. And then I will go back to them, because I don't mind weaving ends in. Oh, there's one that's not tied. Or is it tied? Yeah, it's tied. I don't really mind weaving ends in. I know it's going to be time consuming, especially because this blanket does still need to get bigger. But at the same point, it's one of those processes that you do need to do, so why not do it, if that makes sense. That doesn't make sense, but oh well. So it folds up really, really nice. I just love the colours. I think I made this more for me than I did for her. I kind of want to keep it. I wonder if I can cast on another project fast enough and finish it in time. Because I really like this. Like, really like this. Never made myself a blanket. I'm making two at the moment, but never made myself one before. I realise every time I go quiet, you can probably hear the speed boats that are outside and the tannoys. And now the helicopter. It's all go today. So yeah, this has been made fully out of 100% acrylic. I was literally just using up what I have in the house, and basically what it was is I was making the unicorn helmet cover for one of my friends, and that barely required any of the wool that I went out and bought for it. So I thought, what the hey, we'll make a really, really colourful blanket, and then Scott's mum gets really cold a lot, even when it's like right in the peak of summer, and it's horrible when you go around to the house because she's got the heating on, so she's cold but you're boiling, so she's got the heating on because she's freezing, and we're sitting there going like, oh my god, it's too warm. So I thought that a nice handmade blanket would be really appreciated by her, so I made a blanket. Making a blanket. It's not finished. So this is being kept in my Moomins bag. Which totally brings me on to the fact I got the most awesome post. I still need to send the reply message. Sorry, Nelly. Nelly. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Now everything got moved in my room because we had family around, and I'm so sorry, I don't know where I put it. I'm pure looking really quickly to find out what I'd done with it all. Oh, swear word alert, my head is up my arse. Like, it's been a horrible 3 weeks. I don't know what I've done with stuff. I've been in a bit of a daze, and I now can't remember where I put the most awesome present I've ever received in the mail. So basically what it was is Nelly, or Neely, I do apologise, I can't pronounce your name. Can I call you Nell? Please? So I got a message from a new viewer saying that she would like to send me some things that she thought I would appreciate. And I got the package in the post and I squealed when I opened it. I could not believe it. So you all know I really like my Moomins. I grew up with the Moomins. Like, not many people in the UK really know what the Moomins are. So for anyone that doesn't really know, the Moomins originated in Norway. It is a Norwegian animated show. It came to the UK, it was dubbed, and it was awesome. It was truly awesome. I loved it as a kid. I don't remember much of it, but that's just my memory. And, excuse me. I remember loving it as a kid, and I remember definitely watching it and waiting for it to come on at the weekends and during the week. And they're just part of your childhood. Like, just one of those things you remember. Oh no, sorry, I was just checking Monty was still there. He's hiding. So yeah, Nell was really, what's the word I'm looking for? Really kind enough to send me some Moomin products. She sent me a whole bunch of Moomin tea. I didn't know they made Moomin tea. She also sent Moomin sweets, which are amazing. And she sent me some iron-on patches, which were just so cool. The fact that I got superhero ones and Hello Kitty, like, double thumbs up from me. But yeah, Moomin tea. Like, oh my goodness, am I the only one that thinks this is absolutely amazing? I've still to try some of them. It would help if I knew where they were so that I could try some of them. But again, it's been a meh couple of weeks. I will find them. They've got to be somewhere in this room. They've definitely not left the room. Oh, right, I'm just going to readjust, get comfy. But yeah, thank you so much for that package. It was absolutely amazing. I genuinely squealed when I got it, and I ran through to show my mum, and I was like, "Mum and tea!" And she was like, "What are you on about?" I was like, "Mum and tea!" I think she thinks I'm a wee bit crazy. That was a horrible face to put, and I think I just got like triple chin alert. So yeah, thank you so much for that package. It was absolutely amazing to receive in the post. I will send you a message to say thank you because I haven't done it yet, but I've barely been online. And if I have, it's to like rant. Can't like what I'm doing now. I'll stop. So yeah, moving onwards and upwards. I have no more works in progress. Kinda. So as you can see behind me, I have a whole bunch of project bags lined up, and there is a reason for that. I would like to propose a knit along, a crochet along, a craft along. I want to propose a make along, basically. And what it is what it is I have so many projects that have been untouched and unloved for a number of months now. Whether it's weeks, months, or yes, I'm going to go as far as years. I do have a project that's been on the needles for about 5 years now, and it is still unfinished. It's a very long project. It is what's that method called? Interlac. And it's a very, very large shawl. There's also an I-cord bind off when you're done, or an I-cord edging when you're done, so that's going to take a long time. So yeah, I propose a make along. So basically what it is you take all your half done, a third done, you know, that way, any whips that you have been keeping hidden and have been slightly ashamed of, because I'm gonna hold my hand up, I'm pretty ashamed of how many I have that have been untouched for such a long time. So yeah, I propose a make along, and it's going to be for a number of months. There is no current finish date at all. There will be a couple of prizes for the people that get the most finished, and let's go with, actually, let's do one where everyone's got to be like super, super honest. I'm gonna give a prize to the person that's had a project on the needles the longest. Now, I'm not saying you have to like wait until I finally pick a closing date. I mean, as of today, when you're watching this, how long has that project been on the needles for? So I can say right now, is it this bag? I don't think it's this one. No, not that one. This one. So I can say hand on heart that this project has been on the needles for 5 years. Well, there goes the ball of yarn. So, who can beat my 5-year needle project? It barely looks like I've done anything, but I swear to God, this thing's already massive. And it's going to be even bigger, and I cannot wait for it to be finished. Like, I'm actually ashamed of how long this has been on the needles for. So yeah, there's going to be a prize for the person that has the most finished items. There's going to be a prize for, yeah, the longest on the needles project, and then I'll just do a random select, like I'll select from everyone that has entered, and every post is an entry. So if you post 5 objects that you manage to get finished within the time that this make along is open, that's 5 entries. But you've got to post them separately. So yeah, it can be crochet, it can be spinning, it can be weaving, it can be, did I say crochet? It can be knitting, basically one big make along. Sewing, spinning, weaving, dyeing. Well, no, not dyeing. Sorry, I'm just gonna discount dyeing. Sorry, I smacked my head yesterday and it was really painful. Hence why I keep touching my head. So yeah, so I'm going to show off some of the projects I will be finishing. I say will be, I will finish them. And it's a bit of a tangle just now, but as you've seen, this is my Interlac shawl. This is knit in Noro wool, and it's 4-ply It is beautiful. I wish the colours would pop a wee bit more. So basically when I'm finished this, I go round the entire edge of each square and I do an I-cord edging, which I'm not looking forward to at all. The pattern, let's see, where's page 1? So this is the Heli Intralac shawl with tassels. I'll probably not do the tassels. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. And again, I am pretty sure, I will double check with my Instagram and my Facebook accounts, but I'm pretty sure this project has been on the needles for 5 years. And that's actually shocking because there's so much more that still needs done. There's 210 squares in total, and I'm pretty sure I'm only sitting about the 120 mark. I have a lot to get done. It's a big, big project. And it gets to the point now where instead of having to like try and do it all on my circs, I actually have 2 DPNs and I transfer 1 square onto the DPNs and work from these, and then transfer the finished square back onto my circulars, and so on and so forth, because it's a big project to sit and go, right, knit 1 row, purl 1 row, knit 1 row, purl 1 row. So it's just easier to transfer onto DPNs, work with a square, transfer that back to the circulars, and move on. Oh, I dropped the yarn. Let's hope one of my cats does not get it. So yeah, that is being kept in my Knit Run Dig bag. I bought this in the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, not the year just gone, but the year before that. It is absolutely covered in cat hair. But I would rather my project bag was covered in cat hair than my project. So we're going to put that down there because I dropped the yarn. Next projects, you'll remember these. So next project is these, and the only thing I need to do in these is the thumbs. But all I have to do is just go back on and finish the thumbs. That's all. But they've been sitting for months now, just needing the thumbs done. And that is in my bag that Charlotte made me. I love this bag. Right, actually we're going to put that back in bed. Next project is one I am now also ashamed to admit is still going. This is a pattern I was going to design. Oh my goodness, it's tangled so bad. So this is one of the patterns I was going to design. I do admit this is going to get frogged, so it will not be counting. I love the stitch definition. And I may go on and just, I don't know, I'm so unhappy with some of it. Like, this is curling something awful. And I don't want it to curl. Yes, I know I will block it. But I think it will still curl once it's blocked. So yeah, getting frogged. Going in the frog pond. Let's not even consider that as a part of the make along. But I do need to show this off. Look at my little pen. It's the Hulk. So yeah, frog pond. So that's where those needles went. And again, a bag that Charlotte made me. I love this bag. Frog pond. The next one is a biggie. This is one that was going to take me just as long as my Intralac shawl, and this is my Star Wars double knitting scarf. So I have I started this back in October last year as part of the sci-fi along, and I didn't really get very far. But it's so soft, it's so squishy, I can't remember what the yarn is. And of course, there are no labels in here. Seriously, what, like, I'm a bad knitter, I don't keep labels. So yeah, Star Wars double knitting scarf needs to get finished. I've kind of lost my oomph with double knitting, and it's a really good thing that I'm taking a course in September for double knitting by the wonderful Nathan Taylor. So I'm going to be learning from the best. And hopefully that will inspire me to really, really pick this back up. I am inspired to pick it back up. I do love Star Wars, and I really, really want this for winter coming so that people can go, oh my god, did you make that? I'll be like, yes I did. So yeah, I like it. It looks so much better when I'm not sitting up close. Like, it actually looks really good right now. I know that sounds really big-headed, but see, when I look at it, I don't like it. But when I look at it through the camera, I like it. I don't know, that doesn't make any sense. Just ignore my babbling. So yeah, I do want to pick this back up, but it's one of those projects that's very, very time consuming. As you can imagine, you're knitting with 2 strands of wool, so you're technically double, like, well, yeah, it's double knit, but you're knitting, oh, I don't know how to explain it unless you do double knitting. But I would imagine it's kind of like brioche, you've got to knit it twice. I'm making no sense. No amount of caffeine is going to make this jumble any more clearer. And again, this project bag is absolutely covered in cat hair. My cats like to climb under my bed, which is where I hide these so that I don't feel the shame. Another one down. So I was talking really recently to Eva about this project, and yes, it's still not complete. And I was so proud of the fact I got it to fit. And it is my $5 in Paris jumper. And as you can see, the sleeves have not been touched. They are still sitting on my needles. Like, these aren't even needles I can work with, they're too small. I just literally put them on a cable. And my excuse behind not picking this back up is because the weather got ridiculously warm. Like, we really got a summer here in Scotland for the first time ever, and because of that, it literally just got so warm that the idea of wearing a jumper or any sort of heavier layer made you burst into sweat. So I used that excuse as why would I want to work on it? Because it's heavy. It's not overly heavy, but it's heavy enough. And it's big, it's bulky, I can't wear it anytime soon. So the excuses kind of built up and up and up, and eventually I just didn't touch it. But yeah, that is on the make along list. I will get the sleeves done. I do still want to incorporate some sort of colour work into them, but at the same point I kind of just want a plain cardigan or plain jumper. So I might make another $5 in Paris after I finish this one and do that as colour work, because I'd really like to put some sort of colour work in the yoke, even though there's not really much of a yoke on this one, but we'll see. I'll see how I get on. So yeah, another one to add to the make along. Oh, I think I've still got one more. Look who appeared just by magic. I think I woke him up. So I cast this on as a whim. I seen it on Ravelry and I was like, oh my god, I need to make that. And it's embossed crochet, so if I lift it up like that, let the light hit it. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know how well you can see this, but these are embossed crochet leaves. Let me see if I can pop that out a wee bit more. So this is actually going to be a vest. I say a vest, it's like the American version of a vest, so it's like a, I'll just show the pattern. Oh no, I didn't print the first page. Shoot. So this is the detail version on the back, so that's literally going to be in the centre of my back. And then from there you crochet out, you get armholes, and it's very, very drapey. There's no arms, there's no sleeves, It literally has the armholes, and then it's very, very drapey at the front, very drapey at the back. It goes down into a triangle. I'm making it out of iron weight, so there should be some amount of heat on it, especially in the back. This is very, very thick. But I think once I get to the actual body of the vest, it will be very, very nice for summer, if I get it finished during summer. And I am working with Ice Yarns. This is one of their colour cakes, so I don't know how well you can see that. Actually, I'll just show the full one off. So that's one of the ice colour cakes that they've got at the moment. It's 100% acrylic, which doesn't bother me. I know there's people screaming at the camera at the moment going, "Oh my god, I can't believe you use acrylic." But hey, there's nothing wrong with it. Some people can't wear wool. I'm going to incorporate some solid red into it as well, which I think would look really nice. Not really showing this off well because I'm trying to hold the bag from falling on the floor. So yeah, another one to add to the make along. So let's see, that's how many of that? No, let's do one more show off. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 for the frog pond. So these mittens have been on the go for a very, very, very long time. And the reason for that is because they are being made on 1.5mm needles. Look how thin they are. These needles are actually really bendy. 1.5mm needles with 2-ply yarn. And 2-ply yarn, I really do mean by 2-ply. Smaller than 4-ply, thicker than 1-ply. You know what I'm trying to say. Thin wool. 100% wool. And I don't know, I like them, but it's a lot of love. And I don't know. That's me only really up to the cuff. So I'm not really sure how this is going to work. I know one other girl that's working on these at the moment, one of my friends, Taylor, and she is flying with it. But I think I'm trying to find any excuse not to use them because I'm really not a fan of these needles. They're so small, they're so fine. And in general, I'm not enjoying the process. But I want to finish them. I owe it to myself to finish them because I actually have a ridiculous number of kits from who I bought these from. And if I don't finish these ones, I'm not going to start the other ones. So I want to see if I can get back into it. I'm also really curious as to how it works when you do the thumb coming out of the palm. I've never done that before. When I do a thumb, it literally comes out the side, like as you would expect, looking at your thumb. But these ones, it comes out the palm. So this is my first ones where I'm going to be doing it that way, and I'm really, really curious as to find out how that works. Because I think it would be a very weird fit. I think it would be very weird to wear. But I'm curious to see. So yeah, 6th one to add to the make along. And this has been kept in a bag that I won many, many years ago. That was sewn up by somebody I do not know. And I just think it's a really, really gorgeous bag. So yeah, 6 items I'm going to be doing into the make along. Make along starts as of the point where this video gets uploaded. There's no rules per se. You need to be honest in the sense that it must be something that has been on the needles before you have watched this podcast. It needs to have been something that you've not touched within, I'd say, the last 2-3 months. And yeah, just be honest, guys. Don't try and cheat it in the hopes that you'll win something, because I haven't even shown off what I'm going to give as prizes. I haven't even decided what I'm going to give away as prizes. Please don't lie when you try to enter something for the longest standing item that's been on your needles. I certainly won't be in the running for prizes, so if it beats 5 years, awesome. If it doesn't beat 5 years, cool. If it's just been within the last year, that's still a pretty long time. So yeah, please don't lie when you enter the make along, and have fun. Let's see how many people can get things off the needles. So the reason I'm doing a make along is because I have so many things on the needles, as you have seen, and because of that I have now banned myself from casting anything on. The only thing I can cast on is one of my squares for my blanket, because I've got to finish a square to then cast on another square, and any orders that people put in for me. So if somebody asks me to make them something, I'm obviously not going to be like, oh well, I can't until. So yeah, those are the only two exceptions to my rule for myself. I cannot cast anything on until I get a project finished. And at that, I would prefer to get quite a number of projects finished, but some of mine are very, very long-standing projects. I have 2 blankets on the go. I have a shawl that's been on the needles for 5 years. I'm certainly not going to get it off anytime soon. I have a colourwork project, a double knitting project, which is going to take me some amount of time because it's a full scarf. Like, this is a big, big scarf. So yeah, I want to cast on so many things, but I really need to get things off the needles. The fact I have, how many projects do I have on the go actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that right? If I got 11 things on the go, I think I've got more. I should have counted as I went along, so I get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 things on the go. That's ridiculous. So I want to try and get down to... So I've got 11. Let's say I need to get down to 8 projects before I can cast on anything new. And considering my socks are at the heel, that should be cast off soon enough. If I work really, really hard on my crochet blanket, that could be finished soon. My Briat shawl I could probably finish within the next 2 months. Let's face it, I'm not good with cables, it's going to take me a while. I can get those mittens done because it's just the thumb. What else? Sleeves for a jumper that is done in Aran. And I don't have to do full length sleeves. Yeah, it's totally doable. I could totally be casting on within the next couple of months. I'm not being really strict with myself. I don't have the space to just have things that are cast on. I need to start dwindling down. And with that being said, I'm going to show the last of my acquisitions before I announce a big bombshell. So I was away in Crieff, which is in the kind of like middle of nowhere in Scotland. I say it's in the middle of nowhere, it's only like an hour away from my house. And I decided to swing by a couple of shops. Oh no. And I got some goodies. We'll show off the yarn before we show off the fibre. So the first shop I went to was called Snip Tuck Sew, which is in Crieff, just up the street from my hotel, and the place was absolutely amazing. I looked around and I wasn't overly sure what I wanted. I'd seen things in the window on the Monday when we arrived and we walked around. It was after 5 o'clock, so all the shops were shut. And I was looking around and I was kind of like, oh, I like that from looking in the window. And when I got into the shop, I went straight for what I'd been eyeing up, which was the wonderful, yarn avalanche. It was the lovely Juniper Moon Farm. Juniper Moon Farm. I can't speak. And it's the Harriet Fine. And it is baby alpaca blended with nylon for durability. So you could totally make socks with these. Or it could make a really, really lovely shawl. I got 2 skeins. I bought 4. 2 went to my mum. So I got 2 skeins for myself. And then I got more Juniper Moon. Right, let's take the price tag off. Let's not shock everybody. And I got 2 skeins of the lace. Now, I'm not a big lace person, but I really, really love these colours. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double up. I'm going to try and get them to match as much as I can, but I also have a feeling that the blend of the 2 colours, like, they're the same colour, they're the same shade, same dye lot, but at different points they are different colours. So I feel that if these mix together and they're not identical, it's going to be really, really nice regardless. So I reckon this will make a really, really nice shawl. And this is extra fine merino wool with mulberry silk blend. There's 730 meters in one ball. So this is going to make a really, really gorgeous shawl. And it's a even distribution between the merino and silk, so it's 50-50. This is 420 meters, 75% alpaca and 25% polyamide in one skein. So I can genuinely foresee one of these being socks and one of them being a shawl or something. I'm not decided yet, but I might make a wee sock hat as well, and I'll explain why I'm thinking of hats in the foreseeable future. So at the moment I have ideas of what I would like to make with these, but again, I'm not casting on until I get at least down to 8 projects on the needles. I'm not sure where to put all this. I'll put it behind me. I got one other ball of yarn in snip, tuck and sew, and that was just ball of regia. There was 2 balls of sock yarn, and this was it, and the other one was just plain white. So I got this one. The amazing thing about that shop was they were having 50% off. So originally I only bought the 2 skeins of juniper wool and the sock yarn, and I went up and she rang it up and then she was like that to me, that'd be £18.50, and I was like, what? And she's like, £18.50. And I was like, look, I'm not normally one to point out when I've been undercharged, but are you sure you've rung that up correctly? And they're like, oh, it's 50% off all wool. And I was like, well, in that case. And I went back and got the 2 other skeins of juniper wool for my mum and the 2 skeins of lace. And it wasn't, I know some of you will be going, well, you only done that because it was on sale. Yeah, I only done it because they were on sale. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to afford them. I wanted them. I put them back because I thought, no, 2 at the price that they are is more than enough. So let's put it this way. 4 skeins of the baby alpaca, 2 skeins of the lace, and 1 skein of the sock yarn should have came to over £100. I didn't pay that. So of course I was going to go back and get the ones I wanted. So I know some of you are sitting there going like, you only done that because they were on sale. I'm not going to deny it. Yes, I only done it because they were on sale. Because if they weren't on sale, I wouldn't have got what I wanted. End of story. Oh, my tea's cold. Nah. So, on my last day, when we were leaving Crieff, Lagenfeld Studio was due to open. The entire time I'd been in Crieff, Lagenfeld Studio was closed. That's just their hours of work. And Scott and I had been in the cafe across the road, and I was conveniently just going, still closed. Still closed. Still closed. Because literally across the road, I could see the sales, the sign on the door to say whether it's open or closed. And I was absolutely adamant that I was going to go to this shop before we left. But at the same point, we were due to check out. Thankfully, the lady at the hotel we were staying at, I had texted to say, look, we've not ran away. We have cleaned out the room. We've taken our stuff. We've packed it in the car. We are in Crieff still. Please don't panic. And she's like, no, that's absolutely fine. Have a good morning. I'll see you when I see you. So she knew we hadn't just ran away without paying the bill. And I was absolutely adamant, as I was saying, that I was going to get into Lagenfeld Studio because Eva had talked so highly of Tracy and I really, really wanted to meet her. So we were stood outside Lagenfeld Studio and Scott was kind of like, are you gonna wait? And I'm like, yeah, I'm waiting. And then thankfully we kind of turned around, this car pulled up beside us and she's like, I'm running late, I'm so sorry, please wait. Or like, if you're gonna wait, I'll be open 2 minutes. So we waited. And Tracy opened the shop for us and I just kind of instantly walked around. I was just like, Wow. And I had decided well before I went in the shop that I was going to buy at least one thing. And I made Tracy promise me not to tell what I was buying or who I was buying. And I decided that I was going to buy our lovely Eva's Melted Moglet Dye Works. So this is one of Eva's yarns. I fell in love with this one when I seen it, and I love it. Makes me think of tie-dye, and it's what were the skies like when you were young. And it's on the Peter Cat base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's 365 meters. It's inspired by the antics of the dastardly Grumpelstiltskin, brewed under the watchful gaze of helpful knitting cats Smeagol and Martha Bean in Perthshire, Scotland. So Smeagol and Martha Bean are Eva's cats, and I wanted to buy one of Eva's without her knowing that I was buying it. So yeah, I bought one of your yarns. I also bought one of Desiree's yarns. You can't really see the colour very well. It's lots and lots of speckle, lots of colour. Kind of reminds me of seaweed, kind of like the sea on a summer's day. And it's really nice. It's 100% superwash merino. It's 8 ply, so it's a DK, and it's approximately 250 meters. I can foresee this being a hat. So yeah, I bought some lovely yarn. And then I bought some fibre. So these are ones that Tracy have carded up, and so this is Unicorn Mane, and I hope you can see why it's called Unicorn Mane. It's pastels, it's beautiful, it's lovely, and I cannot wait to spin this up. It's 100% merino bat, and she has put on it that it's for felting or spinning, and it's approximately 50 grams. These two are almost identical, and I will put them in the same spin, on the same bobbin, and it is Bright Rainbow and Lagom Rainbow, and they're both 100% merino, 40 grams, 55 grams, and I think they're pretty much identical. A wee bit more purple in this one than that one. But I love them. I love spinning bats. I think they're really, really fun. And I love the colours as well. You don't really tend to get anything this nice. I haven't seen bats like this in a long, long time since I went down to Woolfest. And I didn't go this year because, well, I'm not going to go back into that subject, but I couldn't go. So yeah, I bought fluffy clouds because that's what they feel like. They feel like squishy, fluffy clouds. And that is the last of my acquisitions. And then to drop my bombshell, I am on a spending ban. No more wool, no more fibre, no more yarn. Basically what it is I really, really, really need to start using up what I have. I am running out of places to hide my yarn. That and the fact that I went to work on a new project a few weeks ago and I, for the life of me, could not remember what yarn I actually had. So most of my yarn is actually under my bed in boxes, and to try and get those boxes out is a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna lie, it's so difficult. I've got to literally squeeze under my bed, and I've got a genuinely bad back, so it's not very comfortable. And it's just a hassle to get any of my wool out. I've got a box at the bottom of my bed, which is a lot easier, but for the life of me, sometimes I just forget what I've bought, which is really bad, like really, really bad. I have so much yarn and I can't remember what I actually have. So yeah, I'm on a spending ban. I have got to start using what I have. I'm on a spending ban in general because I just keep buying, swear alert, I just keep buying so much crap. Like, literally so much crap. I keep buying stuff that I don't need. I keep buying stuff because I feel it's going to make me happier, and that just backfires because I have nowhere to put what I buy. So yeah, I'm on a spending ban. I am on a casting on ban. Basically, I'm being very restrictive at the moment, but I'm really not. I'm doing it for my own good. So yeah, spending ban, no more yarn, no more bags, no more shoes. It's for my own good, it really is. I'm on a casting on ban until I get at least down to 8 projects. I am working on some spinning, but that's a surprise for Michelle. She doesn't want to see it. She doesn't want to know what I'm spinning. So I'm spinning her up some yarn. I'm looking at it right now, and I need to get down to getting more done today. I'm going to be sending her some yarn to make into sock blanks. That's for Perth. I have been cutting out a lot of fabric recently, so I'm cutting fabric for a couple of days at a time, and then I'm sewing up for the rest of the time. And it's just literally a to and from. I don't want to cut one thing to then sew it, to then cut another and sew, cut, sew, cut, sew. So I'm cutting a whole bunch of project bags out, and then I'll spend a couple of days sewing them all up, and then I'll go back to cutting fabric, and then I'll sew. So it seems really beneficial for me because it's a lot easier on my body, like my back and my hands and stuff, to do it in stages like this. So for the last 2 nights, I have been spending cutting out fabric, and some of the fabric I've cut out is absolutely amazing. I pure want them for myself, but I know I can't. I'll be good. But yeah, I think that's about everything. I've kept you guys long enough. This is well over an hour now. So yeah, to recap, hey, I just found the yarn I dropped on the floor. To recap, life's been shit. Sorry, I should put a warning in to start there. Swear warning, life's been shit. I'm not gonna lie, it's been really, really shit. But yeah, it can only get better from here. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Make along. I'm going to start a thread in the Ravelry group, which I just realised I did not say at the start of this podcast. I am not on the ball today. It's the Little Bee podcast group on Ravelry. You'll find us in the forum section. And I will start. Oh, I forgot about my giveaway. Let me just log into Ravelry really quickly, guys. I'm going to announce the winner. Oh, can't believe I forgot about that. I pure remembered before I done my podcast as well. So, I was doing a My Mama's Cupcake Mega Sprinkles giveaway. Oh, come on, computer. Let's see, without my comments, how many entries did we have? 1, 2... We had 8 people enter the cupcakes giveaway. Let's go to random generator. And we will enter 1 to 8. And let's see, who is the lucky winner? The lucky winner is Little Bush Baby. And Little Bush Baby is Aileen. Oh, I remember you just left a comment on my Instagram page. So Aileen, well done. You are the lucky winner of the My Mama Knits Mega Cupcake Sprinkle Mini Set. If you could please send me a message on either Ravelry or Instagram with your address, I will get those put out in the post this week. I promise it will be this week. I'm trying to keep on top of the game here. And basically, guys, I'm just going to say one last wee thing, and I hope it doesn't sound like a pure desperate Dan trying to, like, gain friends, but that's pretty much what it is. I realised, and this is going to sound pure, like, sad. It kind of is. I realised the other day that with my gran passing away, and how many people turned up at her funeral, it was amazing how many people were there, that I don't really have many friends. I know that sounds pure, like, so sad, but, like, sad in not a good way. Sad's never a good thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It just sounds desperate, basically, but I find it really, really difficult to talk to people. And even at the wake for my grand's funeral, I was very distant from even my family. I find it extremely difficult to talk to people, and I really want to change that. Like, some people have been really great. Like, Michelle is stuck by me, texting me and messaging me, even though I can go absolutely days without texting her back, which I know is really rude, but it's just how I am. I'm trying to change. It's a really hard thing to change. This is how I've been my entire life. And basically what it is I would really like to start talking to some of you more. Some of you might not want to talk to me, and that's absolutely fine, but if you guys could give me a bit of a chance. I don't want to like message people out the blue and go, hey, want to talk? So if people want to kind of message me, I know that sounds pure desperate, and I'm sorry, but it takes a death of a loved one to make you realise what you're missing. I'm going to sign off now before I cry. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you have a really, really good week. I hope you join in the make along. Sorry. I hope you join in the make along, and if little bush baby Aileen, not little bush baby Aileen, but little bush baby, aka Aileen, if you can send me a wee message to let me know your address, I'll get those mini skeins sent out to you. I cannot wait to see what you make with them. And yeah, everyone have a really, really good week. I'm so sorry if you could hear the tannoy or the speedboats or the helicopter or anything else that was going past outside. Yeah, have a really good week, everybody, and happy knitting, happy sewing, happy spinning, happy crafting. I hope you join in the make along, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I forgot to add this in, and it's really cheeky of me, but I'm doing a bit of a fundraiser. Because I've lost 3 people recently, I've decided to do a fundraiser, and I'm cutting pretty much the majority of my hair off for charities. It's 3 charities that have affected the 3 people. So the first one is Crohn's and colitis. Yes, I know people are going to think that's for me, but it's not. Tam had major Crohn's disease his entire life and passed away sadly due to complications affected with that and poor health. Eileen passed away because of cancer, so I'm raising for cancer research. And then my gran passed away, and she suffered pretty badly from dementia. So I'm raising money for Crohn's and Colitis UK, Cancer Research, and Dementia UK. I'm going to put a link in the description box with the link to my fundraising page if anyone feels generous enough to give to help me hit my target. Basically what's going to happen is I was thinking of shaving my hair, but this face would not suit a shaved head. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with a pixie cut. So I'm going to have pretty much no hair at the side. I'm going to have long-ish, I say long-ish, it's going to be about that long. So I'm cutting pretty much the majority of my hair off for charity. I think it's a really, really good cause. I think it's a fantastic way to help commemorate the people that have passed. And I want to do something so that families in the future hopefully won't suffer what my family have gone through in the last couple of weeks. So again, that's fundraising for Crohn's and Colitis UK, which is in honour of Tam, Cancer Research, which is in honour of Eileen, and also to Dementia UK, which is in honour of my gran, Anna. So if anyone would feel I'm remotely generous enough to donate towards this cause, I would be forever, ever grateful. So yeah, I hope some of you might be able to donate and help me hit my target. Thanks.